everyone, it is that time once more, so grab your coffee and grab your favorite listening buddy and sit your ass down with some snacks. It's time for some more coffee with Contin. So, I stated recently on the Discord, for all of you that are there, that I've been doing a lot of thinking over the last week or so. And you'll notice that very early yesterday morning, I had made a comment about, with installing the game corner and all that, that I was going to be going back to the old Contin. For those of you who don't know, buckle up, Buttercup. There is a lot of history behind who Contin is. I could go probably for several hours on one of these videos about who he is. However, I will save that for when I actually get to him in History of Draco, which there's going to be a new episode coming out very likely tomorrow night or sometime Monday. So stay tuned for that one. My point, however, is back when the Draco family initially started, amidst all the chaos that was going on around us, initially we formed the family officially on a website called IMVU. For anyone who's unfamiliar with it, it's basically a 3D messenger, kind of like Yahoo or MSN. I'm really showing my age here, God. Or for, AOL. I'm just going to move along. Or Skype, which is a little bit more modern. A lot more people are going to be able to recognize that one than some of the others. Basically, you were given a three-dimensional avatar that you could dress up. You can make it look however you wanted. You can make it into an elf. You can make it into a dragon. You can make it into a giant. You can make it into a midget. You can make it into a mouse, cat, rabbit. Pretty much the limitations were only what you could think of, and in essence, what you had the credits to afford. Now, it didn't stop there because there were voice boxes. Basically how in any of the live streams for the YouTubers that people follow who use Streamlabs or Cloudbot, Nightbot, things like that, there's commands. Basically, you could trigger a command and you could have Morgan Freeman talking about how he's Alex Cross, or you can have Pinhead from Hellraiser. You can have him, a quote of his play, things like that. And then, other than that, there's rooms and furniture and all kinds of things that you could use to customize what you looked like. However, I'm not sitting here and advertising IMVU. I'm simply explaining a little bit about what it is. That's effectively where we formed the group officially. And I say chaos that was going on around us because we honestly didn't really go out looking for people for the most part, but people very clearly knew who we were. We were very active in the roleplay community. We had friends that would join in periodically. We would hold battle tournaments. We would hold dances. We would hold holiday parties, things like that. We did a lot of things, and people very clearly knew who we were. My point of bringing all of this up is that there were times, and before I get ahead of myself and put my foot in my mouth again, while what I said generally did become established for things that were done, we did have a council for serious things, such as people that needed to be punished for breaking rules, things of that nature, for new people that not everybody was very fond of, who were applying to become part of the group, and basically things like that, big comings, goings, punishments, things like that. So while general, it's not really worth it to convene everybody type of deal, things were just left at my disposal, or the sitting queen at the time, or whoever the eldest Draco child was that was around, things like that. There was a hierarchy very specifically for how things were handled. But for the most part, people, and when I say people, I mean the Draco family, were pretty much just left to their own devices. We expected to see people at least once or twice a week, just to check on people, make sure that they're alive. We would still reach out, but I'm kind of getting off point here. Everything aside, it was pretty much established that non-essential things were effectively just left to me. And I did a lot of crazy shit. I'm not even going to go into some of the antics that the family's gotten into because of things that I've said or done. But no, basically, my whole point with all this is I'm returning to who I used to be, in a manner of speaking. I'm bringing back the best parts of who I was, and I'm leaving behind all the negative, or I'm trying to leave behind all the negativity that went with who I was as a person. In addition to, in my personal life, outside of portraying Contin, because that's who everybody knows me as anymore, I'm also going back to who I used to be, bringing back all of the best parts of that aspect of me as well, while doing my best to leave all the downsides behind. And honestly, it's not going to be easy, so if I seem a little bit off for a bit, I do apologize. That's basically what's happening, is I'm doing everything I can to reorder my brain, effectively speaking. And I'm not gonna lie, there are times that I miss the freedoms that I used to have in some regards. Mind, I wouldn't change anything about my current life in terms of my relationships and things of that nature. I wouldn't change any of that. I'm where I need to be in life in terms of who I know, who I'm affiliated with, that kind of thing. But I definitely miss the happiness that some of the aspects of who I used to be, and it's not the same anymore in some regards. Now, the funny thing is that I'm not trying to bring back, because there was definitely a couple of versions of Contin that people did not like. I will just be very blunt with that. But I want to bring back all the fun parts of who I used to be. And I'm hoping that just overall it's going to be a very positive thing, especially for the people that know me. And now that I'm done yammering all about myself, and have been for the last 11 minutes basically, I'm going to be getting to work here shortly on the maps for D&D on Thursday. I have decided, since it's something I'm most familiar with, that the campaign is going to be taking place in Quimers, which is basically where the Draco family is from. So if you're part of the Draco family and you're taking part this coming Thursday, understand you're going to see some familiar things, because it's been a long time since we've roleplayed together. If you remember, you're going to see some familiar things. As to what specifically the quest is going to be, I have not decided yet. Bear in mind that I do want to give everything a fair chance, and just like I had said before, the dice don't lie. I will be setting predetermined spots that can trigger combat. I don't want it to be entirely about the combat, just because it being a D&D system, things are going to take longer. So bear that in mind. And since I am going to be playing as the Dungeon Master specifically, I may throw some NPC celebrity characters in, just as kind of a helping hand to the party. Strictly support roles. So, this is all about the party themselves that are going to be playing. I'm just there to guide and help. But that being said, I should hopefully have the maps up in the next day or so, as well with the new History of Draco. So keep a lookout there as well. And honestly, at this point, I really don't have anything else to say other than my usual closing. I love you guys, and thank you every day for your continued support. Whether it be morning, noon, night, what have you, when you're listening, I hope that your day is well or went well. And I hope tomorrow is just as good, if not better. And I will see you all next time.